Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back. Queen Osset here. Today, I am going to do a walkthrough of a new Oracle deck that just landed in my lap. Actually, I've had it for about a week now. And it's a new Oracle deck that works with the phases of the moon. And, you know, I'm on this lunar experiment to tap into the energy of Mama Luna. So this deck was put together by one of our favorite authors, Yasmin Boland. And Yasmin is the creator of this book, Moonology, and this new book that is coming out. It should be on the stands or through Amazon or Book Depository right now. And this is a book that will help you learn a bit more about your natal chart, because what you do is fill in some areas here once you've gotten your natal chart and you start to fill in the blanks. Anyway, on to the deck. So, the deck is called Moonology, and it's a new deck put out by Hayhouse. So, you know, standard Hayhouse quality, matte box, you know, sturdy, all of that, right? Moonology is in metallic script. I love the imagery of the full moon. And there's a message inside of the front cover. Let the moon be your guide. So Yasmin, when she created this deck, she encompassed, as I said, all of the phases of Mama Luna. She explains everything in this wonderful guidebook. And she says that these cards are used for creating your life, what they can be used for, creating your life. She says, by thinking about the cards that you draw, you can decide if you like what you're currently creating for your future, or you can do something to change the path you're on. You can also use these cards for planning your life. If and when you like the cards which come up, you can start to make solid plans. And then she says you can also use it for predicting your life. Once you start to become familiar with the cards, you will see that you can make some very firm predictions based on them. Now, the deck is separated into, I want to say it's constructed into 4 sections. So we have moon phase cards, which show the 8 phases of the lunar month. And then we have new moon cards, and there are 12 new moon cards to bring in the energy of newness and beginnings. There are 12 full moon cards to herald the climaxes and the conclusions. And then we have special moon cards. And these special moon cards are wild cards that are standouts, unexpected. And these cards include your eclipses, your blue moon, etc., etc. Then in the guidebook here, we have the overall interpretation, additional meanings. She has affirmations for attuning to the moon. And she has here the elements. Each card's teaching provides additional information about that particular moon, and so forth. So she has a little story here, which I really enjoyed initially. And then I'll get back to something else. Let's see if I can find this here. Give me a second. Right. She says that we have moved away from nature and into the industrialized lifestyle in which most of us in the Western world find ourselves. We have lost touch with our ability to create, plan, and predict our lives. But people have worked with the moon for millennia, women in particular. However, during what is now referred to as the burning times, women were hanged, drowned, and turned or burned at the stake for meddling with the moon or doing anything which was thought to bring forth her feminine powers. These women were called witches, a word that is supercharged these days, and not always in a good way. She says she thinks of herself as a good witch, a middle-class witch even, or as a sorceress and a creatrix too. And she goes on and on and on. And she says that by working with this oracle, you start to become the oracle rather than just using the oracle. So we have here, she put in the little guidebook, let's see if this works, moon phases. And of course, as I said, she gives you the structure of the deck. And then there are spreads. She's got a 10-card spread in here. Celtic cross spread. I think that's a pretty big spread for oracle cards. She has a 3-card spread, of course, past, present, future. And then we have a new moon 3-card spread, a full moon 3-card spread, a waxing moon 4-card spread, and a waning moon 4-card spread. So let's get on with it. Let me show you the cards. New moon. A new start is coming. Waxing crescent moon. Have faith in your dreams. I'll just continue on. Gibbous moon. You are very close to achieving your goal. This tends to be a stressful time. You know, the moon is not quite full. Gibbous just means bulging. So when you see a gibbous moon, it's the part of the moon that's illuminated. And if you're doing any new moon manifestation, this is when you start to get a little shaky, wondering, oh, is it coming to pass? What do I need to do? Full moon. Surrender to the divine. And this is when you've done everything you could and you just let it go and let the divine step in and take over for you. The disseminating moon, time to breathe out. This is that big exhale where you just sit back and relax. Remember last weekend, I think I may have mentioned about being in that Piscean energy, which is just taking a step back from all the work that we have done. And we just had a couple of days with the moon in Aquarius? No, we're in Aquarius now, in Taurus, where you were settling down and relaxing and taking care of yourself. And now we're moving into Aquarius, where we start to ramp up a little bit, just a little bit, you know, get out of that stagnant, holding, Taurian, earthy stage, you know, when you've been sloughing about and languishing. Now we want to reconnect to our fellow humans. So 3rd quarter moon, adjustments are required. And this is when you take a look back to see how your plans are coming to fruition. Remember I showed you that plant? A time for healing, the balsamic moon. This is the time when you start to think about what it is that you want to release so you can start to get yourself prepared for the next new moon coming. So those were your moon phases. Now we have the moons in the zodiac signs. So we have new moon in Aries, and Taurus. Taurus is all about prosperity. Gemini, communication. Cancer, family connections. Leo, confidence is important. Virgo, Libra, it's about relationships and romance. Scorpio, work through your fears. This is our shadow aspect, you know, the things that go bump in the night and the monster beneath the bed. Time to look at that and say, oh my goodness, it really is nothing. Sagittarius, luck is on your side. Sagittarian energy, you have to release that arrow. Capricorn, hard work, paying off. Don't get stubborn. Aquarius, bring love into the situation. Aquarian energy is very humanitarian. Pisces, meditate and contemplate. You know, Piscean energy is very dreamlike. Now we have the full moon in the same signs. Full moon in Aries. Full moon in Taurus. You need a practical plan. And hopefully before you get to that full moon stage, you have started to approach your desires, your dreams, your wants, anything that you are looking to bring into your life with practicality. Full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. And this is actually a good message for my Gemini folk because they tend to be very much in their head. And like Librans, they can waver back and forth. But Gemini energy is, not really settled in making a firm, concrete decision. So there's a wavering back and forth, and it tends to be more self-centered in regards to this wavering back and forth. Like, what is the best option for me? And this is where Gemini gets stuck, and they just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Whereas Libra energy is very much concerned about everybody else. You know, how is so-and-so going to feel? I want to make sure that Susie feels good and Joe feels good. And they waver back and forth. And then they bring in Mary Beth. Mary Beth, what do you think about Susie? What do you think about Joe? And they go back and forth, because they want to make everyone feel good. So we're at that season right now. If this is not part of your nature, tap into that. Okay, now we have full moon in Cancer. Leo, don't let pride get in the way. Virgo, you are good enough. Libra, full moon, a win-win. Two cards here. Scorpio, time to release negativity. Full moon in Sagittarius. What does that say? Look at the bigger picture. Capricorn, the end of a rough cycle approaches. You know, Capricorn energy, stubborn, you know, but it's kind of nice to know that Capricorns are very tenacious. They're hard workers. My son's rising is in Capricorn, even though he's a Leo sun, and I see it, and he really can be stubborn to a fault that sometimes it can be detrimental. Full moon in Aquarius. Show the world. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Pisces. Balance. Spirituality with the mundane. Yes? Okay, and now we have the special moon cycles. As I said, these are your eclipses, the blue moons, super moons, all of that, right? So, a new moon eclipse. Expect a powerful change. full moon. This is a conclusion. And you know, we're still dealing with the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse that took place in end of July and August. We'll be dealing with those energies at a minimum 6 months. So it's going to be a constant releasing, a constant letting go, a constant purging that you're going to be going through, releasing the ego, releasing that self-centeredness, releasing any attachments that you may have to outward circumstances or things, thoughts, beliefs, energies that you thought may have been for you, for your highest good. We're working on an energy now to bring us all together as a community. Okay. Now we have waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum. Can you see that, waxing moon? Waning moon. What do we need to release? And speaking of which, since we're in the waning moon, if you've been watching my lunar experiment, I talked about using a blue candle to ease things, make the connection with the moon a lot easier. So you see I've got my blue candle burning there. Let's see, void of course moon. Nothing will come of the situation. So my understanding of a void of course moon is when the moon is in between two signs. So she's basically at a pause. And I think that pause is about 22, 23 hours. And they say that nothing happens. So any of your workings, anything you may be thinking of doing is kind of like at a standstill. So you probably want to use that time, provided you know when void of course is. You'll see it as a VC. If you're looking at a calendar or a planner, this is just, I don't know, do like a phone dump. You know, this is the time where you can clear out your phone and clear out your emails, because you're not really doing anything. Just start moving some of that stuff around so that when she moves into the next sign, you're ready to proceed with the energy of that sign. Okay, so now we have a cardinal moon. Be bold and make the first move. And then we have a fixed moon. Hold your vision. So I think this is attributed to like the fixed signs. And then you have your cardinal signs. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm going to see, this is part of my journey. I'll check up on that. Mutable means things change. Nothing yet is set in stone. Supermoon. Emotions running high. Blue moon. Believe in the impossible. And then you have your nodes. South node. Don't let your past hold you back. So I think the South node is connected to past lives, anything you've done in your past. I don't think it's connected to the past in your current incarnation. I think it's energy that you may have brought with you as you incarnated into this life from previous past lives, if that's a belief of yours. And then we have North node, which is step out of your comfort zone. And I think this is in relating to the lessons that you're supposed to be learning in this life, doing something different. So that's the walkthrough of the Moonology cards. And what we can do before I sign off is, let's do this waning moon 4-card spread. And there are 4 cards, of course, 4 placements. The first card is, what do I need to release? Card 2, what will help me? Card 3, what will help me to accept and surrender? And card 4, the final outcome. So I'm going to do this spread for the general population, for all of us who are watching this right now. Let's give the cards a good shuffle. And the first card is, what do we need to release? Let's see what the general message is. What do we need to release? What do we need to release? I'm rifle shuffling this on my legs here. See, the cards are bowing already. Look at that. I don't know if I'm going to edge them. I mean, it was a $20 deck. The cardstock is okay. I do appreciate the moon phases on the back of the cards, though. The imagery is beautiful. All right. One more shuffle. And let's see. What do we need to release as this moon is waning? What do we need to release? Expect a powerful change. New moon eclipse. Well, we need to release the idea that we are safe and content. That we need to release the idea that nothing is coming to pass. We need to release the concept that collectively, that we cannot make a change. You know, all of us, one drop at a time, one grain of sand at a time, can make a very, very powerful change. So do not think that you are not important, what you have to say is not important, your input is not important. All of us together can make a massive change. And so we need to release the idea that things will happen on a small scale. You know, we're bigger than that. We're more energetic than that. And the second card is, what will help? What will help us? So let's see. What will help us release this idea that we should play small? New moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. What did I say? Piscean energy is the dreamer. This will help us to accept the fact that no matter how grandiose our plans are, that they can come to pass, that nothing is too big or too small. The universe is vast. We need to get into this place that, I don't know, touch up our dreams, reconnect to our dreams, sit in deep meditation, work on the visualization of what it is that we'd like to have. Don't be jaded by what's going on around us. Don't be pulled into that. Tap into another energy. Get centered. Get clear about what it is that you truly, truly want. And the third question is, what would help us adapt, or rather accept and center? What will help us accept and surrender? What would help us accept and surrender? What will help us accept? Ooh, okay. Everybody wants to talk. Fix my blouse here. Okay. What will help us accept and surrender? New moon in Libra. And yes, that's this coming new moon. New moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle begins. What will help us accept and surrender? Be more compassionate and kind and open and giving to not just ourselves, but to each other. Lending a shoulder, offering a hand, a smile, a compliment. just feed into that energy that's reciprocal. You know, a smile does not cost you anything, but it can break down barriers, lighten things up a little bit, you know. And again, we talk about that balance. Don't overthink things too much. Remember the joy that life holds. And if you're not really sure what that is or how far you may have disconnected yourself from that, look at children playing, you know. Go to a playground. I know, it might seem creepy, but go to a playground and just sit, you know, pack a lunch. It's still warm yet. Get outside, put your feet in the grass, play in the leaves. Do something luscious and good for yourself. And the last question is, what is the final outcome when we do all of this? When we accept, you know, the possibilities of our plans, and we get into this place with clarity, and we reconnect to the joys and passions of life. What will be the final outcome for all of us? Ooh, okay, this one flew out. That it's time to give rather than to take. New moon in Virgo. We become more open. We get out of that place where we fear loss. We don't think of lack. We reconnect to the expansiveness of the universe. We're not concerned about anything being taken from us, or we're not worried about losing something that we feel may be ours, whether it's a title, a feeling. You know, we just become more expansive. We start to share, be open to sharing, be open to listening to what other people have to say. So, I hope you all enjoyed that walkthrough. I'm going to just, I'm really excited about working with this deck. Use it for manifestation. My cards are bowing just a little bit, but I got another set. So with that, I'm signing off. I shall see you guys at the next video. Take care. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.